Every scar tells a story.
हर कहानी का एक चेहरा होता है और हर चेहरा एक सच छुपाता है। ये है रिवेंज स्टोरीज की दुनिया। Produced by Daniel Imran.
Walked out of Sterling Hall at 12:08. I had 82 minutes before my next interview. I sat on a bench under a leafless oak tree in the courtyard. I tried to think of who in my family had been reading the drafts I kept on the family Google Drive. I already knew. I drove back to Brooklyn that afternoon at a slower speed than I had driven down. I called Ingrid Sandberg from the road. She picked up on the third ring. I said, "Ingrid, I need to ask you a question. Did you ever know that Chloe, my sister, claimed to have shadowed at Boston Children's? Victoria, she never set foot in our unit for more than 90 minutes at a stretch. For times in 3 years. I keep records of every observer who comes onto the floor. Why are you asking me this now?" I had one more call to make first. I dialed my mother. She picked up, cheerful the way she always picked up when she was performing for someone who wasn't there. "Victoria, sweetheart, how did it go?" I didn't answer that question. I said, "Mom, did Chloe write about Emily Donovan in her Yale application essay?" The silence was 4 seconds long. 4 seconds is a long time on a phone call. My mother's reflexes were too fast. Her surprise was too slow. "Victoria, what are you talking about?" I didn't say Emily's last name. My mother didn't ask who Emily was. My mother didn't ask why I was asking. My mother said, "You're exhausted. Come home tonight. We'll talk." I said, "No. I'm going to my apartment. I'll call you when I'm ready." I hung up. My mother had known the name. I had never told her. At 9:15 that night, I received an email from Dr. Marlowe sent to my verified application address. He attached a one-page summary of the committee's process. Complaint filed and reviewed in 2 weeks. Investigation in 4 to 6 weeks. Formal hearing. Decision. I scheduled the meeting for March 3rd. I sat on the floor of my apartment with my laptop and a yellow legal pad. I opened the family Google Drive. I went in my personal statement draft, the one I had written in April of 2024. I clicked on version history. The document had been modified 23 times between March 14th, 2024 and May 12th, 2024. All by me. There was one access entry that didn't match my pattern. May 14th, 2024, 2:18 a.m. Account, Eleanor Ashford. No edits. Just viewed. I wrote on the yellow legal pad, "Patient Navigator log, Ingrid will pull. Boston Children's badge log, hospital security will pull. My draft personal statement, Google Drive version history. Chloe's submitted Yale essay, committee can request. My mother's text messages. Only if Richard will hand them over. The drawing, where's the drawing?" There was one part of the file Dr. Marlowe couldn't show me. A part written by my mother. I would have to find that one myself. The honor committee process began on March 4th. I drafted a formal request and sent it to Dr. Marlowe. I asked the committee to compare my submitted personal statement from the 2025 cycle with Chloe's submitted personal statement from the 2024 cycle. That same week, Ingrid sent me 3 files. The first file was my patient navigator log. 3,200 total hours across my caseload. 1,180 of those hours were specifically with Emily Donovan and her mother. Bedside reading. Translation. Family conferences. Hospice support. After-hours visits I had logged because I had been trained never to leave Navigator time unaccounted for. The second file was the visitor badge log for Chloe Ashford. For entries. Total cumulative time, 5 hours and 22 minutes across 3 years. Visit 1. April 23rd, 2022. Before Emily had ever been admitted. Visit 2, November 12th, 2022. On the floor, but never in Emily's room. Visit 3, May 6th, 2023. Brief. Never in Emily's room. Visit 4, February 18th, 2024. Brief. Never in Emily's room. The third file was Kelly Rayburn's clinical handoff notes. 38 entries referencing my presence with the family. Ingrid attached a note to the package. "Victoria, I have been a social worker for 24 years. I have seen many things. This is among the cleanest contrasts I have ever pulled from our records. Use it carefully. Use it once. 5 hours and 22 minutes. That was the entirety of the relationship my sister had claimed. Miss Ashford. The committee has completed its comparison of the two essays. The overlap is substantial. Specifically, the phrase "her window faced east and she watched the sunrise even when she couldn't eat" appears verbatim in your sister's submitted essay. The probability of two siblings independently writing that sentence about the same patient is, in our view, 0. The committee will require one more piece of evidence before escalating to a formal hearing. Is there anything else in your family's possession? Anything physical connected to Emily Donovan? I knew the answer. I just didn't know where it was yet. I called Sophia that night. I hadn't called her in 4 months. She picked up, nervous the way she always picked up when she didn't recognize the number on the screen, but recognized the name. Sophia, I need to ask you something. Did you ever meet my mother in person? See, Victoria. October before Emily passed. There was a charity day at the hospital, a donor lunch. Your mother was there. I recognized her name because you had mentioned her. I went up to her and said, I have something for Victoria. She told me she would deliver it to you that evening. I gave her the drawing Emily made for you. Sophia, can you describe the drawing? It was pencil on a hospital sketch pad page. It showed you sitting in a chair beside Emily's bed holding her hand. On the back, Emily had written in her own shaky handwriting, 5 words. For when you graduate. Emily, age 9. Sophia, I never got it. Mija, I thought you had it. All this time. I thought you had it. I stayed on the phone with her for 45 minutes. I told her what was happening. I told her about the Yale committee, about Chloe's essay, about the letter Dr. Marlowe had in his desk. She listened without speaking. At the end, she said, "What do you need me to do?" I told her I would call her back. There was something I had to do first. On the evening of March 30th, my father called me. He hadn't called me in 14 months. His voice was different. He said, "Victoria, I need to see you. Not your mother. Not your sister. Just me. There are things I should have said years ago. There are things on my phone that you need to see." We met at a small cafe in Brooklyn on the afternoon of April 1st. He looked thinner than I remembered. He set his phone on the table between us. He didn't look at me. He looked at the table. I let her do this. I'm not asking you to forgive me. I'm asking you to know. He unlocked his phone and turned it around. He opened a text thread between him and my mother. He scrolled to May 14th, 2024. I read it. May 14th, 2024. 2:31 a.m. Eleanor, just read Victoria's draft. The Emily paragraph is the strongest writing in our family. Chloe has nothing close to it. Should I send Chloe the draft? 6:14 a.m. Richard, Eleanor. That's Victoria's work. 6:16 a.m. Eleanor, Victoria isn't applying this cycle. She's staying for hospice. Chloe applies June 1st. It's just helping Chloe have material. Victoria will write something else next year. 6:21 a.m. Richard. 6:22 a.m. Eleanor, Richard, we have one shot to get one of them into Yale. Chloe's MCT isn't strong enough on its own. This is parenting. There were 52 more messages in the thread over the following 10 months. Most of them were small reminders, coordinations. Some of them were about which clinical anecdotes Chloe should reference in her secondaries. 2 of them were about the fact that I might apply the following year, and what to do about that. My father airdropped the entire thread to my phone. 52 screenshots plus a 142-second voice memo he had recorded himself the night before in his car. He gave me the voice memo too. He said, I should have said no. I said nothing. That is the same thing as saying yes. I left the cafe with everything I needed. That weekend, on April 4th, my mother called me. She said, come home Sunday. Your father needs you here. This has gotten out of hand. I went home. I didn't go for her. Victoria, we can fix this. Drop the complaint. We can make this go away. Chloe doesn't deserve to have her future destroyed over a sentence. I asked her if I could use the upstairs bathroom. I walked past her. I walked up the stairs. I walked past my old bedroom. I walked into the master bedroom. I opened the second drawer of her dresser from the top. The same drawer she had told me when I was 10 was private. Underneath a stack of folded silk scarves, exactly where she had said her private things lived, was a folded piece of hospital sketch pad paper. I unfolded it. Pencil. A child holding the hand of a woman in scrubs. Both of them looking at each other. On the back, in shaky pencil letters, for when you graduate. Emily, age 9. I took a photograph of it where it lay. I closed the drawer. I put the original in the inner pocket of my coat. I went downstairs. The whole family was in the dining room. Chloe had been notified by the Yale committee on Friday that an investigation was open. Her face was streaked, but practiced. My father was looking at his plate. My mother was looking at me. This was given to Mom on October 18, 2024, by Sophia Donovan at the Boston Children's Donor Appreciation Luncheon. It was meant for me. Mom kept it in her dresser drawer, second from the top, under the silk scarves. The child who drew this was 9 years old. She died 3 weeks later. Her name was Emily. Chloe opened her mouth. Victoria, you don't understand. I cut her off. I didn't raise my voice. I said, Chloe, I have your essay. I have my draft. I have the badge log. I have Mom's text to Dad. I have the sketch. I'm not asking you to understand. I'm telling you what is going to happen on Wednesday. You have no idea what you're doing. Emily did. She knew before any of us. I walked out of the house. I didn't look back. On the evening of April 7th, the night before the hearing, Chloe called me. Her voice was broken, but practiced. Victoria, please. I will lose everything. I will lose Yale. I will lose my future. I am 23 years old. I made a mistake. Chloe, you didn't make a mistake. You wrote 5,000 words about a child you saw for less than 6 hours total. You watched her die from a paragraph our mother handed you. That's not a mistake. That's a decision you made over months. You don't have to do this tomorrow. Yes, I do. She hung up. I saved the call to my phone records. At 11:18 p.m., my mother left me a voicemail. For minutes and 12 seconds. Victoria, listen to me. If you do this tomorrow, your sister will be dismissed from medical school. She will never become a doctor. Is that what Emily would want? Emily would want both of you to be doctors. Emily would want healing. You are the one tearing this family apart. Drop the complaint. It's not too late. Your father agrees with me. We can fix this. At 11:23, my father texted me separately, your mother does not speak for me. Do what is right. I love you. I didn't save my mother's voicemail to play in the meeting. I didn't have to. I had already saved the only voice that mattered. I woke up at 4:45 on the morning of April 8th. I put on the bleached blazer. The orange-yellow stain had faded slightly from the steaming I had done 2 weeks earlier, but it was still visible against the navy from across a room. I packed my evidence folder. I drove 135 miles to New Haven. Sophia, almost time. Emily is here too. Sí, vamos. At 8:58, I walked into Sterling Hall Conference Room 3B. My sister was already at the table with our family attorney, Stanton Hargrove. The committee was assembling on the other side. My parents were in the hallway. They weren't allowed in the room. The hearing was about to begin. The conference room held 6 people. On the committee side, Dr. Marlowe as chair, Dr. Lindwood, Dr. Larkin. On the other side, Chloe with Hargrove seated behind her as advisor. A camera on a tripod recorded the proceedings. Ingrid sat against the back wall as a professional reference for me. A laptop on a side table was connected to a secure video line. Sophia would join at 11:30. This is a fact-finding hearing under the Yale School of Medicine Committee on Honor and Professionalism, Section 4.2. 2 governing allegations of academic misrepresentation in admissions materials. Ms. Chloe Ashford is the subject of this hearing. Ms. Victoria Ashford is the complainant. Counsel, Mr. Hargrove, is present as advisor only and may not address the committee directly. The hearing will be recorded per committee protocol. Ms. Victoria Ashford, the complainant floor is yours. I set my evidence folder on the table. I opened it. I started with the numbers, because the numbers didn't have any emotion in them. Patient Navigator log, 3,200 total hours. 1,180 hours specifically with Emily Donovan. 27 months. My signature on every entry. Boston Children's Visitor Badge Log, Chloe Ashford. For visits. 5 hours and 22 minutes total across 3 years. None of those visits occurred in Emily Donovan's room. Chloe never met her. Counselor, this is not a court. This is a hearing on academic integrity. Continue, Miss Ashford. I didn't raise my voice once. I wouldn't need to. I placed 2 documents side by side on the table. My original draft from April 2024 with the Google Drive timestamp printed in the corner. Chloe's submitted Yale essay from June 2024 provided by the committee. I underlined one sentence and read on both. My draft, April 14th, 2024, her window faced east, and she watched the sunrise even when she couldn't eat. Chloe's submission, June 11th, 2024, same sentence. Word for word. And the patient, did Miss Chloe Ashford treat this patient? She visited the floor 4 times. She never met Emily Donovan. Chloe's hand pressed against her mouth. She was crying now. Not performing. Crying. At 11:30, Sophia's video connected. The audio was clear. Dr. Marlowe asked her to confirm the origin of Emily's letter. Sophia confirmed. She described the day she had written it. She described handing it to Dr. Nelson. To the people who pick who is a doctor, please pick Victoria Ashford. She held my hand when I was scared. She told them my words in Spanish when my mommy didn't know the English. She read me Charlotte's Web in the chemo room. She is already a doctor in the ways that matter. Please. Emily Donovan, age 9. He placed the original letter face up on the table. The silence lasted 12 seconds. I counted. My daughter Emily, she loved Victoria. She didn't know who Chloe was. She never met Chloe. I never met Chloe until October 18th, 2024, when I went to a hospital event and I gave Mrs. Ashford a drawing my daughter made for Victoria. She told me she would deliver it. She did not. My daughter died believing Victoria would receive it. Victoria did not receive it until 5 days ago. I am here today because my daughter wrote a letter so somebody would listen. I am here so somebody listens.
खत्म नहीं, ये तो सिर्फ शुरुआत है। इंतकाम की कहानी अभी बाकी है। पार्ट 2 जल्द आ रहा है, सिर्फ इसी चैनल पर। प्रोड्यूस्ड बाय दानियाल इमरान।